one.
I'll tell you what, we need one of those fancy intros like the Kicker and Mask guys have.
You gotta pay for that.
It's got music. It's got some weird techno shit.
Dude, it's super fancy. Let me not exit out of this window.
Steve, is it on your Facebook page now?
Huh?
Is it going to be on your Facebook page, or where's it going to be at?
It's on the Quietly Loud page. Shitting on them.
Shitting on them.
YouTube.
If you're going to share share the one that is on the Quietly Loud page, because that's the one where with the comment from Facebook, we can see who they are.
Okay.
If they click the link from somewhere else, it just shows up as Facebook user. We're like, I don't know who the hell Facebook user is.
Byron's in Denver today, I guess.
Does that guy ever have one place? He's always somewhere.
Well, he drives trucks around, so he's kind of got home in Phoenix, but he usually just comes to Sacramento and hangs out with us right now whenever he has time, when he has time off. So
that's a super cool dude, man.
Yeah, I love Byron. He's the man.
Ever since he gave us the grand tour of North Carolina, he's pretty much on my A-list.
Yes.
I was like, who is this guy? And then gave us everything we could ever want and 4 Waffle House trips, so I'm in.
Well, I saw some video today of a Waffle House cook who was wearing bulletproof vests in the Waffle House. Man, those waffles are just...
Hey, Thomas O'Brien and I saw a cook and a server get in a fight at the Waffle House at 9 in the morning, and I think we're in Kansas City, Missouri. And they were just in there.
For real fight?
Yeah, they were just brawling it out, and they were people serving waffles and shit. They didn't even. It was pretty much the best thing ever.
Yeah, I mean, that had to be the best Waffle House in the.
The rest of the employees are just
they're working
they're stepping over him. You want some more coffee?
Dude, and it was my first time ever at a Waffle House. I'm like, this is just normal here. Got it.
That is a normal Waffle House experience. I mean, that sounds completely that's normal. So, what's up, everybody? Today we have me. Don't worry about the guy below me. Don't worry about that. Me today. No, we got Jon Rabe.
Robbie.
It's okay. Jon Rabe.
I asked Bobby while I was there, how do you say?
I'll bite the shit out of you next time I see you.
Fair. From Skyhighcaraudio. Some of you may have heard of it. Small operation out in Nevada.
Yeah.
So today I suppose we're going to be talking about the Sky High BBQ that happened last weekend, which was a blast. Quite enjoyed that. That was it definitely had that that family atmosphere, like the whole show did. It was great. I loved it.
Yeah. That was your first one, right, Drew?
That was actually my first show on the West Coast. Period. I don't know if that's considered the West Coast or not, but it's pretty far west for me. Besides SEMA or CES.
Right.
It's a little bit farther west than Vegas. Barely.
A little bit.
Yeah, it probably is your furthest west show for sure.
Yep. Now you just got to go to surf.
That's what everyone keeps telling me.
Good location. Okay, I'm all shared up on my socials, so I'm back.
There you go.
Perfect.
Yeah, everyone always says how good surf is. I'm going to make the trip one day. Hopefully next year I'm a little less busy around that time of year. A couple weeks ago, I was just too much going on, man.
Yep, that's how it is. I think the barbecue is the first week. I think it's 3 months. That was the only weekend available for that show. So I was like, all right, it's that weekend.
I mean, it worked out. I had a great time.
Yeah, it's that time of the year is crazy, man. There's so many shows that's between sundown and then surf. And then I guess there was nothing last weekend, but then barbecue this weekend. Then we get a little bit of a break, like a month or so.
Yeah.
Until the showdown. Month and a half.
Unfortunately, kind of in California and Central California, there were 2 other shows. So it was kind of a bummer that the barbecue landed the weekend it did for some of the competitor guys. I almost think that some of the competition guys, they might have should have canceled their events. And
no, that was my fault. They were scheduled before me.
I know. I still would cancel my event. I got this 1X event. And never mind. I'm going to go to the barbecue. That's, but anyway, I guess they don't want to, let their competitors that want to go to the event down or whatever else. But now we have some really cool news today regarding the next barbecue that will solve that issue. And we're way the hell ahead of the game, right?
Yep. This will be the farthest planned ahead barbecue ever. So
we got some really good ideas for this. John mentioned a couple of his ideas to me, and I had some ideas that were kind of looming for any event that it pertained to, and so we got some fun stuff going. But yeah, so let's talk about last weekend a little bit. We had a really good time. I drug Drew out a few days before. And, he'd been so excited. And every time I talked to him, he was telling me about all these cool new, processes and techniques that all the fancy guys are using in the tuning world. And he has this awesome JL tuning rig that's $3,500 some odd dollar tools. And I'm like, oh, I love cool fancy tools. Let's get Drew out here and let's have him tune. I had as many as a half a dozen vehicles lined up that he could have tuned. We only got to 3.5 of them.
That's because one of them has 27 amplifiers or something in it.
Yeah.
17 amplifiers. Yes.
Yeah, that definitely. Yeah, the Raiden truck definitely took a little bit to get figured out.
That was worth 4 tunes.
Actually,
4 tunes.
I only got one. I only got one done. But whenever I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna do a proper 1-seat tuning if it's still there. But no, I had to change a couple RCA things here and there. That took a little bit. The biggest challenge was the audio control software. I'd never touched it before, so I was like, let me see if I can figure this out. And it was 1 billion degrees, so amplifiers would literally go thermal protect just sitting because it was so hot. So like, okay,
not
we got
the sub amps though.
No.
Well, highs and mids
yeah, exactly. Yeah, the mids and highs amps would go into thermal protect just sitting because it was so hot inside the truck.
Yeah.
So let me ask something, Drew. With that max tune, when you're doing all the adjustments and stuff, you're adjusting the audio control processor, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then the max tune's just telling you.
It's just showing me
what it sounds like.
Well, yeah. So basically, it's just showing me, basically an RTA
adjustments,
and then it's showing me phase and time as well.
Okay, I see.
Yeah, so I need 2 screens, one laptop, show me both computer programs, which is it's not a big deal. It's pretty easy to do, but you just go back and forth making adjustments on the DSP, then you can watch it in real time happen on the DSP on the Max, which is super handy because normally when you're doing tuning, you have to take multiple measurements, average them together, then you can see what to change. This is
now
much bigger.
If you were just to use the JL software and JL GSP, you only have 1 screen, right? Like how the audio control would be if you're tuning with their RTA Pro Kit or whatever.
Yeah, so
you don't even have to do anything if you're doing that.
Right.
It tunes the whole shit for you for the most part.
So when you're using like a Tweak 88 or even like JL amps or something, the Max and the DSP software use the exact same software.
Okay, sweet.
So say you have the RTA showing on the screen. It'll overlay the EQ for the amp or the DSP, and as you make an adjustment on the EQ, you can watch it real time happen on the DSP or the RTA, which is super nice.
Wow!
Oh my god!
I literally hope my wife is watching.
All right.
I'm not taking that shit. No way.
You go. Bye-bye.
We got Jameson.
Oh my fucking god, that's my wife. She's hella funny. I'm not drinking this fucking whiskey right now.
Dude, your wife is awesome, by the way. Actually, John, yours is too, man.
I hope she was watching, because if my wife was watching, she's fucking on the floor laughing right now.
I fucking bet. I'm fucking still giggling.
Allie, that was pretty good.
Allie's her spirit animal now.
You're gonna have her keep that on later too, huh, Bob?
Oh yeah.
Fuck around. I'm gonna put it on.
There we go. Talk about something.
Put it where your mouth is. I'll drive over there and drink that whiskey with you, or whatever I was.
If I have the outfit on?
Yeah, I'm on my way.
Yeah, hold on. The plane leaves. I can be there. Just wait.
No, I'll drive. By the time you guys are done talking, I'll be there.
Yeah.
Pretty much,
yeah, basically.
You just keep your phone on the thing while you're driving.
Yeah.
I've left here. I'm sorry. I left the shop and was like on the show while I was driving home with my signal didn't work all that well, but that was when the shithead hit the telephone pole near the shop. Remember that?
Mm-hmm.
It actually reminds me, right before we came on, they're probably still outside there. My neighbor to my right must not have seen this car coming down the way, and he just went out, and I heard a huge screech and a bang, and literally right in front of my front door, there's 2 cars smashed up.
Damn.
Let's see. Do the mobile tour. I mean,
I'd have to do a whole switcheroo. Maybe later.
no,
Y'all wilding out.
That'd be too hard to do. But yeah, that's crazy.
But yeah, so whenever it's a JL, DSP, and the Max, it's all much quicker, to say the least.
Yeah, that's kind of how it was when we tuned my truck, but we used the Audio Frog thing. We had the kicker DSP on one side and Audio Frog thing on the other.
Yeah, which, like I said, that works. That's fine. The more advanced the DSP, the better. Like, I would even prefer to use like the Moscone Aerospace or some of those super nice new ones that have all pass filters built into them. You can get crazy good mid bass from something that you normally wouldn't, because you can put certain frequencies 180 out of phase and blah 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 blah. SQ shit.
Yeah,
science.
Yes, yeah. Speaking of SQ, I mean, I heard the Raiden's doors at Surf, so I had something to base it off of. And then I heard it, obviously, the barbecue and the mid bass that you were able to get now out of it's pretty damn incredible. Super tight,
I turned the whole thing up. The whole. Well, I didn't turn the subs up, but because the mids and highs are so much louder, you can now turn the subs up without it sounding like it's overpowering the mids and highs. But after hearing all that and tuning that, I was like, no, I gotta have that in my doors. I got to have the sealed box in my doors.
The single loudest mids and highs setup ever to exist in a vehicle that drives. Like,
and that actually sounds good.
Demo. That thing is a lot. Like, I've heard a lot before, but like,
yeah, it was a lot, and then it sounded good. It even staged pretty well for being us. Like, I tuned it for the center, put the mic on the center console and tuned it for that, because it's like the middle of the truck for everybody, like a 5-seat demo. And it's still kind of staged pretty well. I was like, oh, that's not bad at all.
So that sounds really good for that much going on.
Oh, yeah. After all that, I told Bobby.
4 speakers, is
it?
Yeah, I told Bobby that night, I need 3-way pillars. I need sealed doors. Like, let's go. Let's go.
Yeah, when you do all that tuning and you sum everything together like that, it just audibly becomes way louder.
Yeah, exactly.
Even if it's not necessarily.
If you can make everything arrive at your head at the same time, it's without increasing power, it just sounds louder.
Yeah, for sure.
Science and things.
Yeah, science.
Yeah.
So, when's the next barbecue?
It is. I'm going to come up on my phone. May 6th and 7th.
Perfect.
Let me go to my family calendar.
You know what's funny is I talked to Ray. I talked to you. I talked to Ray. I talked to you. I talked to Drew and Steve. And then I talked to Ray again. And Ray was like, what's the date? I'm all, I don't know.
Yeah.
So Ray is probably watching and waiting.
Okay, so
like now he's making a note. These are the dates that I need to be ready. So anyway,
May 5th and 6th, and
6 and 7.
I think I heard you guys talking a little bit about it at the barbecue, about it being way bigger as far as like the competition style. Or you are going to actually have a competition, or
yep,
yep, okay.
So go ahead, Bobby. Bobby set this all up, so it's on him.
Well,
okay, Bobby.
I had the idea. We talked about whether having a car audio competition was a good idea or not. And the way it worked out the first time he had a car audio competition, we didn't know where to put them, and we didn't have a good idea of what time they should start and things of that nature. And it got a little bit messy. The lanes were kind of a clusterfuck, and the where they were set up was such close proximity to where most of us are kind of hanging out in the Sky High booth that it was loud and it was a big distraction. It was kind of funny. It was like, oh, fucking bass heads are too loud. Like, get out of the way, but it was like, damn, this is kind of taking away from the bunch of guys hanging out, having a good time. And we were like, maybe this isn't the greatest idea. And then the last barbecue, it was like, I kind of still think it'd be a good idea to have them. We just got to set them up a little further away, have a little better organization for them. and maybe only have them be one day. And so,
You have an Oktoberfest costume?
Yeah, it's in the closet.
Me and Bobby can both wear them. Sorry.
is Johnny or anybody there that you can get dressed up in an outfit and come in?
No. It's a dope show.
Where's Berto at?
Berto come in. And
Yeah.
I'm trying to chug this White Claw and get her to come back in, and maybe she'll have something else on.
That would be interesting.
Oh man.
No, is Drew going to put on a? I thought, like he blanked himself out and stuffed a bunch of food into his face, but then he came back and he's all. Oh yeah. So anyway, I, me and John talked about it really earlier today, and decided that having Ray Pimley come out and do an IASCA event on Saturday, and we're going to have it be a 3X event. And what we probably should do is, let me see here. Did I send the link to Ray? I may not have. I need to send this link over to Ray. I don't know what I'm doing. Sorry, everybody.
Well, I'll tell you while you're looking for that, because we traveled to so many shows across the country with shitting on them. That's kind of the way that most of the bigger 2-day shows do. Saturday, main competition day. Sunday is only for maybe reruns or records if they kind of have that, or just straight chill demo day. So if it's something along those lines, I think that's the best way to do it. Have Saturday be a demo and competition day, and then Sunday just let it rip type deal.
Yep.
Yeah.
So we're gonna do a couple other things too while Bobby's working on trying to figure out how to send a text message. He's a little old, so.
Fuck.
But yeah, we're going to do, so this will be our 10th time doing a barbecue. So we're going to do awards, and Bobby's going to build these big old monumental 3-foot tall, 2-inch acrylic engraved with a CNC LED baselet, type of awards. And we're going to do 5 of those, and we're going to have cash prizes and People's Choice Awards. And I don't know,
good stuff.
whatever.
Oh, yeah, dude.
Yep. Bouncy houses, maybe. That way Bobby and the rest of the kids can jump in them.
I think one adult bounce house would be definitely needed.
We're all over the weight limit. Well, this side of the screen is over the weight limit. The other side, you can go in.
I don't know. I'm right there with you, boys.
Man, we did the adult bounce house thing at my buddy's party one year, and they had the giant boxing gloves.
Oh yeah.
And we were doing MMA fights and those things. So yeah. So yeah, that's where my MMA record comes from. I got a 1-0 record because I was in a bounce house with boxing gloves that were as big as my chest, which is a normal size boxing glove.
Normal.
It was just a regulation boxing glove.
Yeah, standard. So
is Ray in here yet? Can you drag that?
Yeah, Ray's in here. I'll pull Ray in. He can tell us a little bit about the competition side then. All right. Mr. Pimley.
Hey guys.
Yo.
Buddy.
Is my volume good?
Yep.
Yeah, sounds good.
Yep.
Okay.
Good.
Yeah, I got complaints one time. I did a live stream last week, and people are like, "It's not loud enough." Cool. So we're on the 6th and 7th. So the competition is going to be the 6th. Is that the plan?
Yep.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, I'll mark it. So what I can do is on my end, I normally post events on the Ask a Facebook page, but if you have your Facebook event, I usually am able to just bring that into my page, and we'll all just have one event we go to get our information from.
Okay, now that it's announced, I'll make that Facebook event tomorrow, and I'll just shoot it over to you when I get it done.
Yeah, sounds good. Cool. Yeah, I'm excited. We're growing IASCA fast out here. It was my first real season, so we actually have our first state finals this weekend. 34 competitors are pre-registered for that, and then it's open for whoever else comes out. The pre-registered ones are the ones that are competing for state title and all that, but everyone's welcome. So just wanted to mention that. And then it sounds like we're going to be doing a 3X at Sky High, so that'll be pretty cool.
It's a real deal one.
Yeah. So I'll be able to bring out some help. I have other judge, Jose Ramos. He usually helps out. And then my fiance, probably then wife, Josie, will be able to run computer and hang out too. So it'll be a good time. And then we run single lane, so we take up less room than some of the other orgs. We tend to be faster. And we keep it pretty simple. We have 2 formats. It's going to be our SPL format, sealed on the glass, pretty basic. And then we have our bass boxing, 3 rounds of music. It's pretty fun. And then we're introducing this season, or at least I am in California, what we call Night Glow. So that's kind of going to be looking at, your LED setups at night, both inside and outside the vehicle. So if people want to get excited and get, something going on, Brent Leavitt, I believe, won first place at Surf City, and we judged him. So he's in for the running. So if you all want to, get some idea of what that could look like, I posted photos from Surf City on the ASCA California page. Do some installation, get ready for the event. We'll try to do it, early evening once we can kind of see them. I think that was tentatively what Bobby and I were talking about. And we'll judge, as a third format, Night Glow for the LEDs. So that's what we have to offer. And it sounds like we can do some cool awards and work on that together and get, a fun show put together and still keep a good focus on the barbecue itself.
Yeah, sweet. That should be awesome. We're gonna set you up over there. Since you've been, there's that like little hill it's all asphalted hill on the far side of the shop. So we'll set you up. There's an in and an out, so you can just come up, go to your tent, go through your lane, and then they're back out on the street.
Yeah, perfect.
Back into the show, I guess.
Yep. And then is there power accessible over there? Or should I plan for? Okay, cool.
Either way, we got generators and stuff too. So.
Yeah, same here. So
Okay.
all those things are checked off. Well, cool. I'm excited to do it. We'll go into details offline and at some point, but if everybody watching, anybody has any questions about what IASCA is, obviously reach out to me on my Facebook or go to my Facebook, the official IASCA California Facebook page. I'm always helping answer questions. And this weekend, if you're in the California area, you're welcome to come out to Fresno. We'll be at Ray Aragon's shop. So if you want to see it in person, all the info is online. So
Good stuff. How about any SQ or just the SPL side this time?
We could arrange it. That tends to be it's probably not a good venue. It's probably not a good venue.
Okay.
Let's not do that.
This will be the
this weekend we have SQ on Sunday. So if there's SQ folks, we're going to be at Brian Mitchell's shop. I think it's Modesto. I don't even know where it is. I'm not the one running that, but yeah. So it's their quote unquote SQ finals here for IASCA. So we'll have Travis he's flying down from Washington this weekend. So it'll be a good time. But yeah, we can do a good SPL show and have a good time with that. Yeah, dates again. I'm gonna write them down.
Yeah, for our Facebook user, it's May 6th and 7th, 2023. And whoever you are, Facebook user, go ahead and close your screen and go to our Quietly Loud Facebook page and watch from there so we can see who you are.
It's probably Ray because he had to write the note, write it down again.
I was typing. Yeah, so I'll be out there on the 6th. We'll talk more about it. But if you guys have any questions or anybody has any questions, feel free.
There's
Frankie Smith, you going to come down, Frankie?
Yeah, help me out.
Yeah, deal.
We'll do it.
Yeah, I mean, being a 3X, man, I think you should be able to get a pretty good crowd of guys that are serious about competing. I mean, you could get a lot of your points at one time, and that's right at the beginning of the season too, which
it's
is
nice. Big points grab. I offer my state finals is 45 points requirement. You grab 30 by going to Sky High and doing that if you get a first place. So I mean, it's a good points grab early in the season. We have a lot of other shows planned, but this will be a good one. And then the key thing with IASCA is we like it to be pretty straightforward and simple. We're not trying to overdo with the brackets and all the extra taking all day long sort of thing. We're pretty quick. It's about a good time, and I think it fits well with the barbecue.
Cool.
perfect.
That's gonna be awesome. We're looking forward to it. It'll be nice to have a little bit of show scene back, and with the amount of time and the cash prizes and the huge trophies and all the cool stuff, I think it should be a real good turnout.
Yeah, I'm excited.
What are the cash prizes technically going to be for, John? Or is it going to be based, or is it for the awards? What do you think?
So Bobby's going to build these old acrylic monument. It's Bobby stuff, so he's going to do whatever Bobby wants with these huge 2-inch pieces of acrylic that he's got over there. CNC them down. So we're going to do 5 different ones. Furthest travel, demo vehicle, best install, best demo, people's choice, and best wiring. And you'll get a acrylic monument by Bobby. And then you're going to get $500 for first place, and then we're going to do $200 cash prize for second place.
Nice.
No trophy for second place though.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the thing we discussed.
So
Everybody
real
watching,
quick,
Really
I'll-
let
low.
Bobby.
I'll tell you guys about this. I don't really believe in second place trophies. It's just not that cool. Any event I'm ever involved in, I just won't. I won't make second place trophies. I mean, it's not a race. You know what I mean? It's. I mean, maybe for finals, or maybe for like a big point series that there's significant involvement in, or you know, a class that involves skill and effort. But you know, like these 1x, 2x events that you know, guys are like, bro, my third place trophy wasn't very big.
Oh my God.
I'd be like, man, you're not invited.
I
Like,
just
if
dropped-
you're mad that there isn't a third place award available for best install or the best wiring, then please don't come to our event. You're not going to be that fun to hang out with, and we're just not
I'm proud of my
interested at
little second
all.
place.
I just dropped $3,400 on state finals alone for awards. That's just awards, no other expenses. And I had this dude, he's like complaining about third place and the size of third place. And it's like, dude, if it were up to me, if it weren't in my rule book that said I had to give you a third place, I wouldn't give you a third place. There would be no such thing as second and third. You know, but I ask is kind of like, well, you know, we're obligated to provide first through third. But I don't support it. My budget doesn't.
But yeah, so those will be the 5 trophies that Bobby is going to be giving away, plus $200 like a section. And then I'm thinking about doing like a cornhole championship, because like when we go camping, we like to do like the cornhole thing. We'll set up like brackets for teams, and we'll do like $500 to that first place. And then that'll make the total 4,000 even for cash giveaways, and we'll do that on Sunday at like noon or so.
Do you guys have plans for like a tug of war? We've seen that in the past. Like
No, but Chris and Limitless is going to be out here, so me and him on the same team, it would just be unfair, really. We'll just sit on the rope.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get John
Sit on it. You squeeze the rope with your cheeks, or what?
Yeah.
It should be handless tug of war. It's just
The
cheap.
pantsless tug of war.
Handless.
Now you're talking about
Hand and pants, I guess. Whatever you want to use, it's not your hands.
Oh my God!
Some women are going
I
to be
seen
really
this
good at
thing
this.
on Faces of Death one time where this guy wrapped the rope around his arm and it ripped his arm off in a tug of war. So immediately my mind is like, guys, I don't think this is a good idea.
Immediately no. Immediately no.
Yeah,
and
base
tug of war.
rigs tug of war. Base rigs only tug of war.
Done.
Like 160 plus rigs only.
Are the only people involved in doing the tug of war, or the vehicles
No, the
themselves?
Vehicles themselves.
Oh, it has to be
Dude.
actively doing a
While
160
playing.
while you
It
pull.
has to be
Yeah.
If
in
the
the
meter
vehicle.
drops below
Yeah.
160, somebody
Eric.
shuts your vehicle down.
Yeah, you shut the key
Well,
off.
most of our 160 plus builds are straight pigs and can barely make it up a free.
No,
barely
the
even
rating
move.
truck has to be in there, because I would win all the grip and all the weight and low.
What's
Which
that?
truck?
The base tug of war, the Raiden truck, that would be the one.
Oh.
If you need to make it a little bit louder, and then hit that thing in low lock, and it's over. It's going to pull the van around the block 10 times.
They probably
And
pull all
Jim
the base
and
cars.
Jim would do it. Jim
Yeah.
would be like, "Oh, I'm going to do it while I'm doing a burnout." It's wild. So I'm trying to get Jim to do that. We got that Truck Mania thing, John, that we got coming up. We should actually bring that up. Damn, I wonder if Ray might be able to get involved in that somehow. But anyway, trying to get Jim to take the Raiden truck and be doing like an active multi-window hair trick while he's doing the burnout contest. Like if I get him to, I mean, if he's like, go ahead, I'll be like, I'm not doing that. I'm not, but I don't want him to break it. Yeah. If you said you break, you buy status, he'd probably be in. I know.
Yeah.
But
That's a lot of weight back there and a lot of tire.
It is a lot of tire, but he needs doings anyway.
Yeah. Send him.
I mean, a little squirt of bleach and maple syrup goes a long way, though.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or classic was that what they did for Knight Rider, because that was pretty much a stock Trans Am back then. Is they'd spray paint the tires with black spray paint, and then they don't grip at all, and they smoke like crazy. So any of you guys want to do a really bitchin' burnout with your shitty car, black spray paint your tires, let it dry, put them back on, smoke show for days. So anyway,
Sure.
Byron.
That's my man right there.
He's already locked and loaded, bro.
Byron, we should be done with Byron's build by then. I expect we'll be debuting Byron's build that'll be named Soulgasm. Byron himself isn't. I mean, he's Soulgasm, and I'm sure he's a good source of those. But he has a build. He's got an Escalade ESV. If I'm saying that right, it's the big ass suburban size Escalade. We're planning to put 918s in that, and he's already got a stack of salt amps taller than me, so that means he has 3 of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the short way too.
Yeah, the short way. See if I can persuade my wife to bring me another White Claw. Anyway,
918s, tons of power. You can do a 6th order or 4th order? Don't know yet.
I'm pretty confident we're going to do a 6th because,
That's the one.
I mean, we'd really like this thing to be a super duper just wind hammer, you know? I don't know. People really fall in love with the Bloodbath because it can just play. What is she saying? I said,
play,
no,
guys.
and my wife responded, "LOL." Okay, like I don't know what's coming now. Let's see what country she's coming from. May or may not be in American or Danish or some shit attire, but yeah. Anyway, but yeah. So Ray, you got any more info for us about what classes there are and how they work at that'll be available at at any IASCA event, but also at the barbecue?
Yeah, like I was saying, it's pretty simple. SPL classes, we break them out based on the vehicle you have: car, trunk, car, SUV, wall, etc. Same thing goes with the base boxing. So it's just a musical class, still same breakdowns. We kind of look at cone area and power as the other main criteria. So it's all pretty self-explanatory. I tell everybody, how it works, when I see them or if they ask questions. So we can get deeper in that, at any point. Yeah, and then I also wanted to mention, aside from this weekend being my state finals, our world finals, we are the only organization on the West Coast to be offering a world finals venue, like satellite venue, this year. It'll be in Oregon, and all the info's again on my page, and that's October 23rd. So that'll be a big event as well.
Where at in Oregon is it?
In Albany.
Okay.
Or Albany, however they like to pronounce it. I got scolded last time I said it by all the Oregonians.
You just spelled it.
So
yeah. When was
that'll
that?
be-
How did you say it when you said it wrong?
I don't remember. I usually say Albany, so that must be the wrong way.
Great. Good
I
job.
believe Albany.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Whatever he said.
Albany sounds right, but
Albany.
if you were like Albany, then they
Albany.
might have been mad.
Albany.
So
Never mind.
Oh, wow.
Check me out.
nah, it'll be good.
All right.
So yeah, thank you guys for having me on.
Cool. Thanks for coming, man.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
All right, Ray, we'll talk again soon.
Sounds good, Bobby. Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Yep. Thanks. Bye.
Buddy.
Later. All right.
You can rest now with the screen being like that.
What's that?
Yeah, now we
Now the screen is divided now makes me feel a lot better.
yeah.
Oh, the
it's
five
good
pack
The
was
5
weird
thing
for you?
got rid of me.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna remove myself because it'll look better.
no,
So,
I think the competition part's
what
gonna,
is that?
gonna be good
Kevin
for
Del Bosk asked about
Right.
the status of the Green Monster. Green Monster is at a friend of mine's house, and he's doing some cool welding stuff, and he's playing with some fancy electromagnet latches. And we've worked it out. We've done some really pretty large scale tests to see if this is realistic before we go all the way to completion. We're putting like 5 magnets that are good for 800 pounds each. You shouldn't have brought 2 because now I won't be able to get you to come back in another fancy outfit. That is like some eyes wide shut shit going on. We're going to have to end this shit early.
Yeah.
Or I'm going to have to leave for 37 seconds and come back.
That'll probably get it there.
Do you remember what you were just talking about?
I have no fucking idea. No.
The green
Electromagnets.
Electromagnets, Green Monster. So rear doors will have 5 electromagnets on each rear door. And the back seat will be, I mean, it'll have the stock back seats of the truck in there, but you will be in a full-on extreme cabin behind the B-pillar.
You should like turn them sideways where you can fit 4 people like behind the B-pillar, like limousine.
Well, the amps are still going to be. The amps will probably still be in there between the seat. As far as the next iteration, and we may do a full cut through in the next iteration of the truck. It's never a done thing, but for now we'll make
it goes through the back glass. I can't even remember.
No back glass. Oh, the port comes through the back glass now. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
When I built that, I was like, I want to make it so I could still put it back to a regular truck. And then I started playing it, and then I was like, oh, look, I ripped the floor 3.5 feet long up the center of the truck.
Oops.
I guess it's not a normal truck ever again, and it's just going to be a base vehicle. It's like, so, and the firewall's all jacked up now. So it's like, okay, okay. So, for now, you'll be able to like open the rear door and get in and sit in a regular seat, and there'll be a stack of fucking amplifiers between you and your friend in the other seat, and we will electromagnet lock you in, and it should be, I mean, solid 170s in the back seats. You'll literally be in the box, and depending on what configuration the enclosure is behind them, it'll be you'll be in the 4th order or 6th order or 8th order.
Nice.
Which should be pretty nasty.
I'm going to post this comment because some people may have seen these. It's the first time I saw them, but some people may have seen them floating around Facebook. But your amps, you want to tell us a little something about what you got going on there?
So we have some amplifiers coming, and they're in production currently. And the ones that you guys see are test amplifiers, like test of the actual production unit. They're our design, heatsink assembly, and all the fanciest, highest end products we could possibly put into those things. We have a 6K. We have a 200x4 Class AB. And we'll also have a 5-channel that you guys probably haven't seen yet. That'll be 1,700 total power, 1,500 by 1 and 50 by 4 5-channel. That should be a lot of fun. And we expect to have them in November. So I'm not going to hold my breath, but
I will.
Yeah, because I'm just gonna die anyway. I'm too old to hold my breath. John can hold his breath because, before I order anything, I'm like, "Hey, John, do you want to buy a giant stack of amplifiers with me?" And he's like, "Give me a minute." Okay, go ahead and order them. I'm like, "Hey," and then he's like, "Oh, I just bought 2 whole companies, so like, here we go." I'm like, "Yeah." So.
Probably a good investment.
You can count on Bobby to be profitable.
Yeah,
out of probably anyone in audio. Like, I had an argument today about. I'll go find it. I'll read it to you. And I was gonna tag you in it, Bobby, but I'm like, this could get really bad if I tag him.
If Bobby's grumpy and I tag him.
Yeah. No. If you would have read this, you would have probably been mad.
Really?
Yeah. Pulling it up.
But he's going to tell us about it now while I'm on the show, and I'm already a little buzzed.
Perfect.
Maybe this isn't the right post. There's like 100 comments on here now. This ought to be good. Real good.
Yeah. Is that the color you're going to keep the amps, Bobby? They're going to be that blue?
Yeah. That Bud Light beer can blue. Yeah.
I like it. I think it's cool looking.
Yeah, we went over that quite a bit. There's a chance that I might do some different colors. I'm not going to lie. I'm a huge fan of all the different color amplifiers that JP is doing. And so I thought maybe having a couple of different options and maybe having small runs of limited
I would at
edition
least do like
things.
the primary colors, blue, red, green. The most
Probably
common.
not going to do green amps, but you never know, man. If we do enough of them, I'll do multicolor freaking unicorn piss, whatever.
Do jizz color.
You do what we were talking about. You make those custom plates.
To make it different.
Yourself.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You have the machinery to do all that stuff, and you could offer all kinds of custom options. Fit right in there. You got something there, John?
No, I think he deleted his comment.
Bet. What did he say? Fill us in.
Okay, essentially, it was in the SoundCube group, and he said something about we raised like 7 SKUs worth of pricing by like a little bit of money because they haven't raised their prices in 3 years. And based on logistical issues and manufacturing increases in price and raw materials and all that stuff, the price has to go up a little bit for like the company to make like $4. So he told me I'd rather sell 100 amps or 100 of these at $299 rather than, or 1,000 at $299 rather than 100 at $399. I did the math, and the profit shows that he would have made $13,400 selling at the $399 on 100 pieces, and he would have made $5,000 selling 1,000 amps at the $299 price. And I'm like, so actually you're wrong. So there's that. And I explained to him the fine line, and we have to, calculate in, turnaround time and warranty process, all the things you have to calculate into pricing. And he's like, I would have just sold it for $299. I'm like, well, it costs $265. So no, you wouldn't have. Yeah.
Well, they would. No,
do you even know
John.
about selling car audio, bro? Like, clearly, he's that guy's an expert.
Yeah. Well, he told me he had the whole stack of them in
Watch
the
all these companies that come and go. All these motherfuckers, they don't even do one lap around the fucking drain.
Yeah.
They don't even make it one time. They go straight in like the heavy booger. They go, dude, I bought $250,000 worth of amps. I sold them all, and I made $21,000 in 3 years. Fuck yeah. I'm gonna go back to my state job because I'm a fucking loser. And they're lining up to do it all day long.
Yep.
And you know what? And what's crazy is that some people are super freaked out about those guys that do that shit. And they're like, they're fucking up the market and they're doing all this and they're cheapening everything. And it's like, no, they're not. They're providing bullshit for the entry level people to feel like they're getting a deal. There's a market for them and there's a market for Gately Audio, and it's okay that my amps are going to be twice as expensive as a similar bullshit amp that somebody bought a stack of and they only intend to buy that one stack of.
No backing, no warranty process, no fast shipping, no insurance on the shipping, no, like all the things that you're going to do to make your amplifier, your product, your customer service better. That's a built-in value for them. And honestly, this goes back, and we've talked about this on live before, but I thought Bobby was out of his fucking mind when he told me all the shit that we're going to sell at what price. I'm like, nobody's going to buy that. Okay, newsflash. I was wrong. Like, bro.
I remember calling up John when he was doing a sale at one point. And I'm like, what? Why are you doing this sale? Are you overstock of any of this shit? And he's like, no. I'm all, you should only put the shit is overstock on sale ever. I accidentally ordered too much of this. I'm closing this out. We're doing a new iteration of the product. It's the only shit that you should ever put on sale. You should ever, like fucking ever. And John was like, And I'm like, even if you sold a little bit more, but I was like, he's like, I sell way more shit when I do a sale. I'm like, you do a sale every month. So everybody's like, I'm going to wait for his next sale. And I'm like, so of course you fucking do more sales. There's so many companies that do that.
After the sale. Like, I think that was like mid-COVID. Like, I was locked in my warehouse for too long, so I was making decisions. I might have been like, I really want to ship another 1,000 things today, so let's just do it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And then I made like one like request. I was like, listen, unless you have an overstock of any of my boxes, don't put any of them on sale. So at one point, John ordered a new box I was making. I like added a SKU and I hadn't made it yet. I think it was a 4.8 3.5 box, right? Because it looked really cool. I made one for a customer, added to the SKU, and he's like, give me 5 of those. And I was like, okay, well, my guys had already made a batch of 6 of them. And then we delivered them. And then I had it on the list of things to build for him, and we made 5 more. So we had 11 in stock a few weeks later of this 4.8 box. That's just a regular box. And I was like, hey, I did this. He's like, well, I ordered it. I'm all, you ordered 5. I had already built you 6 just on the, you let me build whatever you want. I'm like, I'll keep them. Whatever you want. He's like, no, just keep them. I'm all, make like a bundle sale. And he made like 3 different bundle sales with DS18 and DC. And I don't think you did it with B2 because I don't think you had any inventory of the B2 ones, but we sold the shit out of them along with a whole bunch of other shit too. But at the same time, it was like we sold like 8 of them real fast. It was like, oh, well, that worked out pretty good. But only because we needed to, because I made an error and he made up for it on his end to make it worthwhile. But as far as things are still to this day, we can hardly build them as fast as John and I are selling them. And every time we get a little bit ahead, John or I have an idea of what new product we should be developing. That way I'm not making just the same things. Otherwise, we would make too much stuff. John, did you know you sold almost all of your W7 boxes already?
Yeah, I was back there looking. I wasn't looking at that, but I looked up and I'm like, where the fuck? God damn it.
And I was like, how many of these should we build? Me and Anthony were talking about it today. And I was like, I guess we'll build 3 of each of them this time and see how fast those go. And then we'll gauge on whether these are something that John needs to have 10 of. But we weren't sure. So I gave you 3 of each at first. And man, it hasn't been a month. So yeah. Anyway,
that was weird.
Here's a question for John that you probably know, or if you guys haven't talked about that.
I would hope I know that by now.
What's that?
So yeah, I would hope I know that by now. So currently, I guess, like, long story short, the SoundCube thing has kind of been a sister of DD, their online sales thing, and so we bought SoundCube from DD to try to revitalize the line, and it's been kind of I don't know how to say this nicely. It's been kind of
neglected.
Slowly. That's a really good way to say it nicely. Because of all the shortages and everything, which you can obviously understand. If you have a product or a company that's not your main source of income and your baby, then you're going to not put your best foot forward, and you're going to help the mother company continually do the best they can, which they've done. So it's been kind of neglected, and we're going to, put some money in there and get some new product, revitalize the old product, figure out what we need to do to make better product. But yes, there is new product in production already. Nice. We're going to discontinue the U series amps, which they're pretty much sold out of them already, or SoundCube's pretty much sold out of them already. And we have a new full bridge amplifier that we're working on that is a bit stronger, much better grounding circuit, better heat sink, stuff like that. So yes, there will be new product, but we need to continue on the line of the product that's already selling and in stores and all that stuff right now. So it'll probably be 6 or 8 months until you see a new SoundStream or a SoundCube product.
You got SoundStream on the list too, huh?
No, not on the list. You should see me kind of fumble through all the different companies as we try to talk about it throughout the day. It's like great.
There's a lot of them out there, man, that have some names from back in the day that definitely could get revitalized, I guess. But I mean, like the HDCs forever were pretty much a staple sub at almost any show, so.
I have an HDX 312 right now in the Mazda that does a 50. Well, 112 single cab Mazda does a 50. They're like 36 or something.
Yeah, the company has a really good following, but it just wasn't, I think, being pushed at its full potential. And obviously we're going to bring it back and do the best we can to do well. And we're introducing it to like the Sky High family of like brands or whatever you want to call it. it's one of our house brands, so you can flip the free shipping into one of your orders if you're a dealer for us or distributor for us. And we're getting the international people set up as well that do Sky High international stuff. So the dealer market for it's pretty. They're taking it really well. So it should be pretty quickly turned into something that's pretty awesome.
Hell yeah, dude.
So
awesome. I love to hear it.
Hey, you see Ray Pimley's comment there. His first 160 was done with Sound Cubed.
Dude, I'm telling you, I've been hearing all that kind of crazy stuff. Like I told Thomas at Surf, Thomas O'Brien, I told him at Surf that we had bought it. And he's like, dude, that was my first big build I ever had was full of Sound Cube stuff. And I'm like, I didn't even know that. And I'm getting all those stories from all these people. And there's 1,000 comments online. Like if you look on Chris Allen's post, he got like 400 comments or something on there and 800 likes. And they're all just talking about like, I used to run this. And I'm excited to see where you guys take it. Like you have a guy switching or whatever. And so I was arguing with a guy yesterday. This is pre the $299, $399 argument that told me, what did he say? I'm not even going to go try to find it because it's probably deleted. But this is the beginning of the end for Sound Cubed and all that. And I'm like, well, we've almost done nothing. And it's the 14th of the month, and we're doubled in sales what we did last month. So there's that.
Yeah,
just saying, Jon Rabe is a primary owner of Sound Cube, makes it a reason for
to buy it.
I'll be stocking Sound Cubed at Gately Audio, along with Limitless and Sky High and Trinity and B2 and DC and audio control.
Before SoundCube changed their name or had to when they were audio.
Had to, yeah.
You know, I mean, when I got back in the game in like 2010-ish, there was kind of the big boner was AQ, and that's maybe a couple years later they had to turn their name over to SQ. But like the AQ 2200, I mean, yeah, that everybody, it was dumb because it's just a name, but yeah, something about the AQ 2200 and they lost some fanboys, I guess, but the equipment was always, I mean, like I said, when I got back in, it was doing I mean, it had the loudest cars like that. What's that dude's name? I think he's up in your neck of the woods, Drew. He's got that black Mamba.
Andrew McCullough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He said
he used to go head to head all the time. Back in the day when I had my flat wall, he was building his flat wall. He had one with 415s. And then I built mine with 615s, and then he got 615s. Yeah, we were going back and forth, and he was running their products 10 plus years ago.
I think he still does run their subs.
I think he's
mistaken. But the truck's still together as far as I'm aware, but I haven't seen it at a show in years.
Yeah.
That's cool. I'm excited for that. And especially now that it'll kind of be separated from DD. Well, it is. So maybe we'll see some completely different stuff instead of like a, you can kind of tell like a GM Chevy. Yep. There won't be that type of relationship anymore.
Yep. Yeah, we got a lot of stuff in mind, but we got to get the product in hand again and make sure that we're stocking it up. Because that's the biggest problem in the last couple of years is just stock levels have been hard for them to get. So we got most of the product in stock now, and then we got more orders obviously coming in once we figure out exactly what's going to sell now on like 2022 audio and 2023 audio, wherever we're going. We'll figure out what we need to do to make some modifications and go from there. So that should be been eventful.
Well, let's
talk about the build of the week.
There you go.
And this brings up a lot of content from last weekend's show. Mellisa and John's Yukon.
Let me get an
absolute. Yeah.
We offered that we'll match everybody's donation at the barbecue, but I want to offer it to anybody that's listening on here. If you PayPal me, it's Skyhighcaraudio at AOL.com. I'll match your contributions 1-to-1, and I'm going to send Mellisa a check tomorrow. So anybody else that missed out on that opportunity, just PayPal me or message me or whatever. I'll get to you right now, and I'll match those 1-to-1 through Sky High, and I'll get her that money out tomorrow. So now I've been waiting for that.
Yeah. Is it Skyhighcaraudio at
AOL.com? It's all. You can't change the PayPal now. Yeah.
I guess it's too late. You're stuck with AOL even if they go out of business.
Yeah. It's over. We have new emails. Now we're adults, like the @skyhighcaraudio.com thing, but That one can't change.
Like still even to this day, every now and then I'll give someone my email, Drew at Base of Hog. Like, oh, you got your own email? I'm like, yeah, bro, it's like $6 a month.
Big dog.
If you're a business that you don't have your own email, come on, bro, get it together.
I got my own email in 2000, and like people like, whoa, bro, Bobby at Gately Audio, that's amazing. I was like, it came with my website.
Yeah.
Like, you have a website? I was like, I think I paid $91 for it. It's one page.
Killed
it's got
it.
Pictures. I'm like, anyway.
I don't know if I was allowed on the internet in 2000.
I was barely born in 2000.
Hey, you're older than me, bro, so I don't know what to tell you, dude. Sorry, buddy.
Okay,
I shouldn't have been allowed on the internet in 2000. I was a grown-ass adult man, and I owned my own house, and I still shouldn't have been allowed to be there. I legit was figuring out driving directions to some motherfucker in Oklahoma. I was like, I'm going to go out there and sneak up on this dude. I need to not be, but oh boy.
Okay.
So
there she is.
I don't know. Maybe Drew or Steve should maybe tell a little bit of the story, because I'm sure John and I will start to cry. But
Go for it. I mean,
Melissa's husband, John Napolis, Express Audio, in Oregon. John got real sick, and he passed away shortly after Surf City. And damn, man, I'm not gonna make it long.
I got it.
If I knew more of it, I would gladly tell it. But I think I've only talked to John maybe twice. So.
Yeah, so I believe John got diagnosed with cancer in April.
Damn it.
Or a little bit sooner than that, and they have their Express Audio shop up there in Klamath Falls, Oregon. And John passed away, I believe Wednesday of last week. Maybe Thursday. It's all a really big blur now. But and I was talking to Mellisa and John pre his death about coming down to the barbecue, and it's like really their staple spot, and they came to all of them, and they were always here and always, getting in a good mood and like literally scalping people with the build. And I was talking about helping them get down here and stuff, and when I saw the news of John passing, I was like, fuck, dude. I was going to just leave Mellisa alone, and I'm sure it's a fucking train wreck, so I wasn't even going to get involved in it. And we were laying in bed, and Amanda was like, I'm talking to Mellisa, and I'm like, oh, fuck.
Yeah.
I was like, I would be ignoring the world, and I'm super happy that she was able to stomach all the actions and everything that had to happen to make sure that they got down here. And so my wife decided that she was going to drive one of our trucks and trailers up to Klamath Falls and get Mellisa in the truck and bring her back down here. And that was like Friday. It was like at 2:00, and it's 5 hours-ish with the trailer up there, 5 hours back. And so Amanda decided to leave and go get Mellisa and bring her. And so she took off in the truck, and I dealt with all the shit here for the barbecue, and she got the truck and trailer and loaded Melissa's truck up and brought her back down. And they got here at like 3 a.m. or whatever. And so I brought the truck down on Saturday morning and let them sleep in a little bit. Got the truck unloaded for them, parked it front and center. And then, when it was news to everyone, because nobody broadcasted it, obviously, and everyone knew what had happened because they're such a staple of like what had happened at the barbecue for so many years. Mellisa came down and got to do, I guess, what John's last wish was. I don't know. I'm pretty sure it was Mellisa that told me this, but he said he doesn't care if he comes down here and dies trying to get here. And so it was important. And
man,
the thing demoed all weekend, man. It was crazy, and
she put on a show, dude. Every time she fired that thing up, it was full rip, bro. It was.
Dude, I got my demo, and I'm pretty sure she tried to rip my head off. I'm not sure, but yeah, I was like, I hadn't heard it since I got the new amps in it. So it'd been, I think, since last barbecue. the last time.
I think they reconed the subs too. I think they got all those pit bulls right at about 1 ohm with some magical like 1.4 or like 0.9 or something like that ohms. I'm pretty sure I got that right. I was talking to them about it. Thing was like just right, man. But it's getting all of it.
It is ripping. I mean, I think I've got a demo of almost every iteration because I've been to every barbecue, I think, besides one, and then surf, and it's just progressed every year. You don't think it could get louder, and then they do something to it. And now with the 3 pit bulls, I mean,
that thing is wild.
It's aggressive, and they don't. It's not even turned up all the way. It's always she's always got like 4 or 5 clicks left. Speaking of your demo, I think Bobby captured it here. So let's watch this real quick.
Oh yeah, this is John's demo.
Yeah, I was not ready. They're like not
Dude, that thing was getting it. And I didn't even realize the headrest was still in there. If she'd have pulled them things.
Man. Yeah, it's I love this build.
Dude, it looks so good too.
You know what's crazy about that thing is that thing is built to be able to be taken apart. The back wall of that box is like removable. We were talking about, they were like, it's getting a little bit of flex here, and I was like, why? And it's like, well, it's made to come apart. I was like, holy shit, man. I'm like, I can't believe it. There's really like no adhesive or anything. And they're like, no, it's just all bolted together. I'm like, I couldn't. I was like, maybe we should make it permanent. And they're like, oh yeah. And I'm like, well, and I reached my finger in there, and there's like a little bit of a gap. And I'm like, and he's like, oh, Timmy, she's playing it. Pull your finger out of there. It's gonna move. I was like, oh my god, it would have like chewed my finger off. I'm like, man, it would gain, and it's such a massive build. And John designed that thing to where if he wanted to take it apart and rebuild it, because he does all the time. He did it so many times. I mean, he was relentlessly pursuing murdering people in that thing.
Yeah.
And I love it. I was like, he built this so he could take it apart? Like, yeah. I'm like, oh my God. Like, this is insane. Like it was so much. And to consider that yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I got a video of that too in here.
Matt, message me.
There it is. Oh my god,
that thing's like 5 pounds.
Yeah, and both windows down.
Yeah, that was crazy.
I need one of those, by the way. I need like a blue and green one. That is so sick. Dude. That thing matches that ring. Awesome.
Yeah, they've always been such huge supporters of ours too. I've cut them custom decals, for their shop colors, and it just fucking sucks, man.
Yeah.
John was only 38 years old, and that cancer bullshit just snatched him up, man. And he was a great dude, and he was a lot of fun to talk to, and he was always really excited to see us at shows and stuff, and I didn't know that was what was going on there. I when I knew he had just got out of the hospital, I thought, man, he's looking like he had a tough go of it, but I thought maybe he was in the process of healing, and
I did too.
he's like, man, you got to come and hear the rig. It's super brutal right now. I was like, absolutely. I got to get over there, but it was Saturday at Surf. And man, things got real busy and real crazy. And I had, lines going to hear the Raiden, and I had people visiting me and this and that. And I made it over and looked at it and stuck my head in the window and was looking at it when nobody was around. And I was like, oh my God, this thing looks insane. And 3 pit bulls. Holy shit. And subs that'll take it. I'm like, man. And, but I never made it over when he was playing it. And, I know that that kind of bummed out John a little bit. And, that really broke my heart. I felt like a real piece of shit, as I kind of deserved to. It was a big lesson, and something that I say to people frequently, and that is, do what you say you're going to do when you say you're going to do it. Because, sometimes you're letting down somebody you're doing some business with, or your customer, or your buddy that was counting on you to help them out with something. But sometimes you're missing
your last chance type thing. I kind of feel the same way. I didn't realize that they were really giving demos at Surf. I knew that they were there, and I didn't really hear anybody talking about getting a demo. So I went and I signed the pillar. I talked to John and Mellisa for a little bit.
Speaking of
Mellisa,
it's
in situations like that, sometimes it's just hard to know what to say. And you want to say the right things, but it's like, what's the right thing to even say? All you can do is just be there for them when they need you, and don't let that feeling like fade. It shouldn't just be like a flash in the pan type thing.
Mm-hmm. So she's going to keep the truck going, I assume.
Yep.
Dude,
she's going to keep the shop going.
Oh yeah.
That as well. And I told Mellisa, anything you're doing, any project you're working on, install you're working on, myself and my team are all your tech support. And if you guys are right in the middle of some installs stacked up, me and Colt will hop in a truck and hustle up there and work through some of these projects with you guys. I know John was the main dude in the whole, building of everything and wiring everything and figuring out how everything went together and helping the customers figure out what they need. We can help with that, and we can help educate and understand how everything works, and how to figure out what impedance everything wires up to, and what's the right amplifier and subwoofers and boxes for people's builds and things of that nature, I think, in just talking to her, I think she knew a lot more than she realized she did, just, about, amps and subs and how to wire things up and everything else. She gets it. She did all that wiring, and, she loaded that. She installed that baffle in that truck, with just John talking her through it, she put that build together with a bunch of help from Dylan.
Dylan's another amazing guy.
Yeah, it's a good dude right there.
I have talked to Mellisa a little bit about possibly being part of the SEMA mobile audio experience as well. I know John and I talked about it a little bit. I talked to Rusty. And if Melissa's down, it's still a month and a half away. We'll kind of see as we get a little bit closer. But if she's down, there's definitely a spot for the Express Audio Tahoe and Mellisa to come down and give demos to 100, 200,000 plus people have never seen anything like it. It could be a good, another good, I don't want to say another good thing to do, but, this build deserves to be seen. and a great place for it to be done.
Yeah, no, but no, I know what you mean. It'd be a good thing to do. It'd be a good in memory of John. I'd be, that's the show, literally the show. It doesn't get any bigger than that. And that truck definitely.
Oh man,
That thing was awesome. If she gets that rear wall thing bolted down, like Bob was talking about, and get that firewall welded up, dude, it'll be. I bet you it's a mid to high 60 as it sits.
I mean, it's probably doing a 63 with the back
with the
wall
broken
flexing and the firewall ripped. It's like,
me and
More
Steve
than
were
that.
talking in front of it. Not the other Steve. We were talking in front of it, and she fired it up. I was like, golly. Like it was almost like moving hair, like moving my shirt. I was in front of it, like in front of the hood. It's like, damn, that's nasty.
I just really don't understand how it doesn't launch windshields, because usually those Tahoes, like a
Doesn't make
58
sense.
plus, windshield's gone.
My Tahoe's fine. The firewall's absorbing. Well, the lack of firewalls is absorbing all the energy.
Right.
Melissa, whatever we can do, my team at Gately Audio, and I'm pretty confident John at Sky High would help us out a little bit with regards to whatever we need. We'll bring that thing in or we'll come up and visit you and make whatever minor adjustments or even if there's anything that needs kind of major adjustments, I'm in. We'll make that thing happen and we'll help you get that thing down to SEMA. You need somebody to tow a vehicle, a trailer, whatever we got to do.
I got
To
a
help you
trailer
out.
space. I was talking to her about it, Steve, after you and I talked about it out when we were driving back up to Klamath Falls. We had a good old 5-hour drive there to talk about all kinds of stuff. And
Awesome.
obviously, I'll send my wife up there or whoever, one of our guys, or Bobby or me or whatever needs to happen. My dad, I don't care. My mom, whatever. Like, my dog will go get that car. Like, I got a trailer spot, and we got cars going to SEMA already, and trucks going to SEMA already. So,
I mean, as it is, it's good to
I'm
go.
putting it on
Like,
the list.
send it as it is. But if you want to change anything, you want to work on it, I'm all in for all of that as well.
yep.
Yeah. I mean,
We got Byron. He's down to tow it. He just, we got a trailer. We got a truck. We probably could use.
I got a truck.
I know my buddy Eric's F-250, and he's got a trailer. I hate to offer up somebody else's stuff, but I know Eric well enough to know that he's all in, So, yeah.
Here, Dylan's just as stunned as I am. I maybe it's just like you either get lucky or you don't. That's
because the firewall's ripped. We reinforced that firewall. That windshield's going to be on the ground in front of the truck.
Some MBSs are just strong. Like look at like my Tahoe and Steven's truck. No windshields go.
And then there's some where you get in the passenger seat.
You just look at it silly and it breaks.
Your feet are moving 4 inches.
Yeah,
that's mine
for sure.
But
dude, I'm super excited about that.
If she can get that down to SEMA, I mean, I know it's not much in the grand scheme of things, but I'd love to tune it up for her, get it sound even better if she wants me to. Because I'll be down there kind of early.
Does it have a DSP in it already?
It can have. I can put one in there.
We could get one. Yeah,
I believe it only has a 2-channel running the doors, so I don't know what's running the tweeters. I'm guessing there's another amp back there behind.
Hey, the highs and mids sound so good. I mean, I got like the first demo and that thing got turned on, and she played that.
I seen you in there about to die. Like,
oh my god,
he was hurting.
Oh man, I am a freaking crybaby, and that is like, my friend is gone, and I know I'm an asshole, and I didn't do what I said I was gonna do for my boy, and he was wishing I did. And a couple weeks ago on the show, Melissa's like, John said you didn't come and get a demo, and I was like, I'm so sorry, I'm super missed out, and then a couple days later I was like, oh my god, I'm such a piece of shit, so disappointed in myself. But the doors and that thing, it sounded beautiful and like super duper loud.
They don't have a DSP in there.
They will.
What's that?
It says no DSP, just all manual crossovers. Then it sounds really good for no DSP.
It sounds super duper duper good. I mean, considering those are the conditions. I mean, we add a DSP to it, and play with that a little bit and have some fun with it. All of that.
Yep.
Yeah,
Whatever they want to do, I'm down to participate in that. So
yeah. I'll be. I'm gonna try to fly in early, so that way. That's true. It's a fact. I mean, it's not wrong. Yeah. Me and Brandon, we're gonna come in probably Monday or Sunday to spend the whole week. But yeah, I'll fly in. I'll have all the stuff with me, and then put a DSP in is fairly straightforward. You can do that in a parking lot, literally.
Yep.
So if
Awesome.
Audio control, or I can grab a tweak JL, that just make it even more simple. But we'll figure it out. We got time.
Yeah.
Well, kind of.
Yeah, and for anybody watching, if you're going to come to Vegas for the showdown, come a couple days early and come to SEMA. We're going to have a little mobile audio experience. It's 12 of the baddest freaking car audio cars really in the country. There's a couple we missed out on, but it's going to be a time where you can get some demos from some.
And I believe Friday should be open to the public as well. So anyone, even without business license or 1099 from a audio related company, should be able to come in.
Yep. Yeah, the outdoor section's all open for the public. Yep. So yeah, come have some fun with us.
The outdoor section's open all week. I know people
popping.
that went to SEMA and they were like, I couldn't get inside, but I went and walked around outside, and that was a lot. So
the outside's cooler than the inside, really.
It really is for sure.
Yeah, the inside's cool if
you got business to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, and if you're looking for one specific thing that's coming out or this, the inside's got all the stuff that's not out yet.
The inside's going to have
really cool cars, but
I think Kicker's going to be inside, maybe.
They said they were doing an outside and an inside.
I bet you the outside is where. Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense.
Not our outside part.
See, Dylan said that John and him kicked around the idea of a DSP, but they never had any good direction on which one to get or how to even tune them properly. I got you. Don't worry. Yeah. We'll get one in there, and we'll get them doors turned up even louder, and we'll get them sounding good.
I'd say go with an audio.
Well, one thing I know about the audio control DSPs is they don't seem to mind the sound pressure and being part of a vehicle of that magnitude. I've never built anything as loud as that Yukon, but pretty close to that. And I've had a DM810 or a 608 in some loud vehicles. So that's one piece of information that I can provide.
Yeah, the 608 should be. I mean, if it's just the 2 amps for the tweeters and mids, the 608 will be plenty.
Yeah,
I got it on that. If you want, Drew, let's just work it out, and I'll bring it down or whatever stuff we need, and we'll take care of it.
Yeah, I mean, we'll just need a couple RCAs and some wires. Yeah. I mean, simple stuff.
Okay.
If I come up and visit that thing on the front end of this for any reason, then I can have it in there on the front end and do a bass tune, and then we can get fancy with it when Drew arrives.
Yeah, whenever they get it over to Vegas, I can depending on where it's at, we can bring it to like John's warehouse in Vegas, or I mean, we can do it at SEMA if we wanted to. That'd be kind of cool.
I can bring, if we're gonna put an audio controller in it, I can bring the RTA Pro that you just plug in, and it basically gives you a baseline tune, and it might diversify your product knowledge too, Drew, just in case you're flying around running.
Yeah. Bobby had one. We were kind of limited on time, so I didn't get a chance to set it up and like get to play with it. But, that'd be cool.
Or maybe I go get the truck early, like whatever day, and you fly to Reno and then ride down there with me or whatever.
That'll work.
Oh, nice. We can all bang away on it for a moment, doing whatever we need to do.
Yeah, that'd be cool. And then that'd give Brandy a chance to come in with us and meet everybody without being at the show environment.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Obviously, this is all up to Mellisa whether she wants to dive all the way into all this with us. But
she may not even. She'd be like, "No, it's fine how it is."
It pretty much is too. So there's that.
I mean, it really is fine how it is. But if
you're talking to
like to play with it,
Mellisa said she really wants to go. Well, like everyone said,
when you're going,
if you want to be there,
we're gonna make that happen. You're going.
And if you want the DSP and all that, that's if you want it, you got it. So
heck yeah.
So let's talk about.
Man, there's one. We didn't ask really John a whole lot about John.
I guess we should talk about John a little bit. I mean,
I got a question. I never actually heard you talk about it, but like, what got you into car audio? I mean, not into the business. I'm talking about before the business. like obviously you were a bass head before you started selling bass head shit. Like what got you into it? How old were you?
When I first got, everyone's familiar with my old big truck with the big 1215 walkthrough. That was like my first car.
When did you get that back? Sorry to cut you off.
Yeah.
When did you get that back?
Like 6 months or 8 months ago.
Yeah, I think I asked Bobby. Like, somebody's like, when did he get the big truck back? They're like,
Yeah, I need to find time to like pull the body off it and powder the frame and do all that, and then drop it off at Bobby's for 6 months or something. It's that's scheduled, but like I need to get caught up on customer stuff before I can pull that in. So
that was your first truck, like first truck ever?
That was my first truck that I ever had. Yeah.
Okay.
And so I started building boxes, and I had originally like 2 kicker CVRs, and I was like, "Well, I'm going to cut a hole in the middle of this box." Jigsaw, another CVR, just wired it in parallel with the rest of it. Didn't even know what an ohm was. And then me and my friend Jeff, that runs my fab shop now, we would always like work on new boxes or swap out stuff. We did like pillow stuffing. That was like a huge upgrade back then. We were like, doing that. And then I got a football scholarship, moved up to Reno. And all the people that were on the football team were always wanting car stereo stuff, and I was all into it. And I was on the S&D forum, and that was like my life, pretty much football and the S&D forum. And then they all wanted car audio stuff, so I'm like, shit, I'll buy the stuff and bring it. And I was doing installs kind of like on the side. And then I figured I could probably do it for a living, essentially. So my junior year of college, I started selling car stereo stuff. And by then I had ran into Rusty out here from DC, and Rusty gave me some pointers and stuff, and I was running some DC equipment at the time, like a level 512 and like a console box with a 3.5, and that was like the loudest thing that ever happened to me. And then I did a 415 box, and like the sales started taking off. And
this is all still inside the truck, or was?
Yep. 415 no wall, like rear seat. And then after that, I went to a 615 flat wall inside the cab on, I think it started with 1 12K and ended with 4 12Ks. I started with level or XLs, like the original XLs when they first made the diversification between 4 and 5. We did the XLs, and then on
that must have been pretty damn loud.
Yeah, it would do like a 61 and some change, or like 47. This is 2009, probably 10 or 11.
Okay.
And then
fucking loud back then.
Yeah, so that was like my selling piece or whatever. I figured out, like, I was trying to do it, and I was just selling audio on the side to pay for my habit, essentially. And then I was like, shit, I can maybe make some money doing this. And so my junior year in college, I started selling stuff on eBay, and yeah, it just fucking took off, dude, and it was going really well. And I was like, I fucking went and asked my dad. I was like, can you help me with my taxes or whatever? And I didn't even know what I was getting myself into at all.
Yeah.
And he was like, you should probably like not fuck off and build cars and dick around all the time. You should probably take your life more seriously. That's kind of how it went. And then I gave him my fucking tax or my 1099 from like eBay, and I think it was $660,000, and I was a junior in college, and I had a full-time job, and I 20 credits at a time, and I was doing audio. Yeah,
got the glasses on.
Yeah,
that changed his mind real quick. He's like, maybe you should focus.
No, he's always been super supportive, but I like working with car stereo shit. Like, it's not really when you think of it, it's like hole in the wall audio shop or whatever, and
right.
Yeah, so then I graduated from college, started my first retail store.
Let me stop here just real quick. What were you selling to do $660,000 as a junior in college on friggin' eBay?
Scorpion products.
What?
Scorpion and Gold Audio, yeah.
Oh, hell yeah. Okay.
Yep. And I was building some of my own boxes and selling them on there. I was shitting on Bobby back then. But yeah, I would sell them on there. And that wasn't profitable at all, I don't think. But
that's impressive. Yeah. 660.
I was doing Tacoma like center extended cab boxes in the center, like 110 downfire, and I think I was selling them for like $449. They cost me like $100 to ship, carpeted and all. I was like, no, this is stupid.
Yeah, you like work a whole ass day, and you're like, fuck yeah, I made $220.
Yeah, exactly. No, I built 5 at a
And
time.
right now, I said that, and there's like some dude that's been doing that shit for fucking goddamn 6 months every day, and he thinks he's killing it, and he's super mad at me right now.
Yeah,
That's fuck, yeah.
How dare you?
Fuck him, bro. 220 a day is killing it. And like it. Yeah, I've been there, and it was great. And I have a lot of days right now where I make negative
for the 220.
but but I have a lot more days that I make more than that, and I would rather
stay on that track. Yeah.
I'd rather make a more appropriate amount of money at my business to where so you can sell crack on eBay. Somebody said you can sell crack on eBay. Dude, you can sell crack on eBay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
He was-
continue. So
You got you.
You show your pops your first tax return or whatever. He helps you.
Yep.
Continue. What else?
Yeah, then I got my first retail store, and I was doing installs and stuff. And I was selling that stuff online still, and I was just filming.
You had a store, John?
I didn't know that. You had a storefront,
Yep.
huh?
I knew that.
Holy
I don't
shit.
know how did I know that?
I don't know.
Where
Yeah,
was that at?
I knew that.
Orlando?
Maybe somewhere in the story I never caught that.
Yeah.
I know you were screwing around. You met Johnny was like hanging out at Sky High, right?
at DC.
I'm sorry, at DC.
Yeah, that's how I met
It was
Johnny.
Sky High. Yeah.
Yep. And so, yeah, we had the retail store, and I was still selling stuff online, and I was selling, shit out the back door and doing installs and all that. And
When did you create Skyhighcaraudio.com and start selling product? What year? What was that?
way probably like in 15, I bet, but it was .net.
I remember when it was .net. I remember ordering from you when it was .net. I remember Johnny being super grumpy with me one day and then calling me back the next day and not being grumpy.
I think.
Yeah, I mean, shit, I must have had some of your first stuff too, because when the first Explorer build was like in 14 or 15. And
Yeah, I think we started coming out with our own products like in 12, I bet. I think I bought like 5 pallets of speaker wire because I was selling a shitload of speaker wire, and I was like, dude, I'm going to do it myself. And I got like 5 pallets in, and I wanted to die. And I think at the time it was like $7,000 or something. I almost died right there.
Yeah.
And so I did that, and we sold it, and I was like, shit, I'm making like 50% more money or whatever. And then I was telling my dad about it, and I was in this little like 700 square foot thing, and he was like, you should probably like figure out how to do that more and not do car stereo installs, pretty much. And so
your dad's a smart dude, man.
Yeah. Well, I didn't realize at the time me and him were like, because we're like cut from the same cloth, and I was like 20-year-old fucking know-it-all,
Yeah.
So I ate a lot.
You're kind of a dickhead.
Oh yeah.
Like I was like, this motherfucker. And you know what though? I was old enough to know that a lot of you 20-year-old motherfuckers just need to grow up a little bit and it'll be fine. So I was like, I'll just let him be an asshole to me. It'll be fine. But if somebody was like a 30-year-old dickhead, I'd be like, I'm gonna fuck this dude up. But you're 20, I'm like, he's 20. He's an idiot. Yeah.
He's literally
cut that shit out later. Yeah.
So long story short, my parents got a line of credit on their house and let me use it to do my first order. And then, I was indebted to my parents for however long until I could make enough money to flip my own product.
Wow.
So that's how I got my first like big order. It was like $97,000, and I think I was like 21, and I was gonna.
Was it all wire? Your first order?
Yep.
Okay.
Holy fuck! I'm gonna buy $97,000 in wire. Yeah, no, there's no fucking.
Well, and then it came fucked up because I didn't know how to. Like.
Not get fucked up shit.
Figure out how to do importing and stuff, and it all got fucked up, and it came all wrong, and I had to like B-stock it all and sell it all and figure out how to make another order while I did that. And my parents,
do you remember what was wrong with it?
It was just way smaller than like what I had ordered. Like I had got samples and I had done all the whole thing, but I didn't really understand exactly how it all worked, and the factory didn't make it how I had specified it. And they're like, "Oh, sorry," one of those things.
They kind of take their own liberties.
Yeah. So I had to source a new factory at that time, and that was great. Yeah, that was where everyone else would have quit. I'm guessing.
Yep.
Yeah, probably.
Because you were fucking relentless.
Yeah, I really wanted it bad back then. I wasn't about to fuck my parents had fucking done a lot, so I wasn't trying to fuck that up.
Fuck that one up, bud.
Yeah, that's not a good thing. Put a fucking fuck their mortgage up on their house. Yeah, no.
You know, when I don't know if John like really gives a fuck if I share this or not. When I communicate with our builders and stuff overseas and or even here in the States, he's involved with all of the communication of how things get done. And quite often he won't really say anything. And that tells me that I didn't miss anything important. But every once in a while, John will jump in the communication, be like, hey, I want to specify that this is how this is getting done, right? And then I'm like, oh, I missed some major shit. And I'm like, sorry, I didn't know. And he's like, no, I know you don't know. It's okay. And I'm like, and I'll tell you something. There's no way we wouldn't have Alpha and Relentless series woofers, and the failure rate is fucking zero on all the Alpha series subs. Now we've had like some weird little manufacturing defect where like the speaker wire didn't go into the terminal correctly because the screw is too long, and we've had to swap some subs.
I mean, you'll have that.
Yeah.
But like nobody's blown. Not even like, oh, I blew this sub a fucking Relentless 8. Not one. Like they don't fail. And John was like, no, we have to test the shit on. You got to do all of this testing. And I'm just like, I'm testing. You want me to do all the testing? I'll do all the fucking testing. And we beat the shit out. And I was like, I want you to change this. And I want you to change this. They were like, oh, we changed a couple things the way that I wanted. And then when they provided exactly what we wanted, our fucking woofers are just perfect.
Well, it's like you were telling me.
Happy with our 8s and 6.5s. The 12s are getting real close to exactly what I want them to be. And there's no fucking way that I would have what I would have and the service that I have without John helping me, his experience. And he had to learn the hard way. There's no computer program that tells you how to do it just right.
No, there's no manual and nobody else
or anything.
Really.
Yeah.
Well, I'll help you, but like nobody's going to help us type of thing.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And Bobby even told a story about that, how he tried to make a connection for this one thing, and like his boys wouldn't help him out with a one connection. Like, damn.
Yeah.
It's real fucking simple, man. I'm like, and John was even like part of that process. I can't even fucking believe it. Like some of these guys are like they're like, this is my dude. I fucking love this guy. He's my homie. And I'm like, can you give me an email address to somebody I can communicate with to help me with this product I'm trying to develop? They're like, no. Like, thanks.
And you're like, what?
I'll go ahead and keep that shit in mind in the future, motherfucker. You know, like, all right.
Yeah, whenever you told me that, I was like, man, like it surprised me, but then not
it
really.
did not at all.
Kind of a shame. I was like, damn, that's. But then the one person you told me who told you, I was like,
he would.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, because
he might miss his fucking due date on the product he's supposed to provide by double, but that's okay.
I think I know
it wasn't me. I ain't talking about me. It was somebody else.
But yeah.
I think I know who you're talking about. Possibly.
But but like John said, like there's no one to like, it's hard to find someone who's doing, because like no one's doing exactly what you've done. So it's right. Hard to, especially like very niche things like that. It's very hard to find someone to help you out.
Yeah, we want 1,000 watt 8-inch woofer. Not going to happen. There's like 4 people that have it.
I'm not even gonna say that shit.
I heard the what subs did Eric have in his truck? Hey Bob, what subs did Eric have in his truck?
Relentless.
Dude.
So we got 4 Relentless 8s on a Salt 4K at a half ohm.
We were beating the snot out of them on the way to Johnny's parents' house.
Yeah, they don't die. Ever.
They don't die.
You
gotta like on purpose fail them. So a lot of people don't know this. The carbon fiber isn't some aesthetic bullshit. The carbon fiber, the primary reason is...
Here comes all the 8-inch carbon fiber subs in the world right now after this comment.
Yeah. What's that?
Here comes all the 8-inch carbon fiber subs in the world after this comment.
All the subs will have carbon fiber, and it'll be the only way anybody fucking wants it. The carbon fiber cones on our subwoofers, on our Relentless Series subwoofers, including the 12, are thermally coupled to the voice coil and the voice coil former. This dissipates heat from the voice coil rapidly while the sub is playing. So thermal power handling is 4 to 6 times that of what a regular sub is. So let's say you're pushing it a little extra hard, right?
Like you should be.
I'm giving it the fucking beans. Well, you can do that 6 times longer. And whether it's, it's mechanically holding up just fine when you're running 2K to an 8, which I've fucking done for certain, you're like, I'm not trying to put 2K to a sub when I'm playing 29 hertz, but maybe if I'm real careful and I know the song doesn't have any lows, that it doesn't go below 35, 38 hertz or something, and I'm in my truck and I'm like, I'm giving these shits all of it and I'm clipping a little bit and they're just, and I'm like, oh man, I'm rocking a 50 with 4/8 right now. This is badass. And they start stinking a little bit and I turn it back down and I'm like,
They're fine.
No other fucking woofer on the planet would have done that. They would have been on fire.
Funky Pub would.
Sure, correct.
Yeah. So that's the reason for the carbon fiber. And I learned that because when I was working with Audio Dynamics and they had their aluminum cone woofers and they on purpose made sure that those aluminum cones were thermally coupled, I could beat the shit out of those woofers as long as I didn't mechanically damage them. And they would just cool themselves off. Actually, and I found the engineer at the fucking factory overseas was the one that did all the math on it. And that carbon fiber was a better thermal cooling than the fucking aluminum. And it's super strong. And kids' heels can't fuck your carbon fiber subs up. They might jack up your surrounds, but there's that. And yeah. I'll tangent real quick to a funny story about when I was working with Audio Dynamics and Sky High, but I visited almost every single car audio dealer in the state of California when I was traveling around with Aaron White at Audio Dynamics. I had a great time doing that. That man is fucking brilliant. I learned a lot of shit from him and he's super fun to hang out with. And we visited so many shops and so many shops would ask me, they're like, what wire are you using? And I'd be like, Sky High. And they'd be like, what? I'm like, Sky High. They're like, do we struggle with wire? And I'd be over there at their computer, Skyhighcaraudio, and then call them up or get set up as a dealer. And I set up way more fucking dealers with Sky High than I did Audio Dynamics. And we set up a lot of dealers with Audio Dynamics. We set up a lot. Because the product is fucking awesome and it sounds beautiful, and Aaron is a brilliant fucking engineer and designer, and he would work well with the people. But it was so easy to sell Sky High. They'd be like, we've been buying this bullshit, and we're paying out of our ass. Or my technician dragged in a bunch of welding cable, and I fucking hate it. Or like this whole thing, and shit. I know John told me one time, he's like, man, we get a lot of people that told us that you said to communicate. I'm like, if for every one person that says this guy told me to call, there's probably 10 times that, just because that's just how it works, So that's my funny stuff. Yeah.
Oh, the mids.
I bet you do, Mellisa. When I put the first set of speakers, John was like, put these in your truck. Tell me how they work. He gave me a set, and I had some really fancy, super high-end Italia hi-fi component speakers, 3-way system in my truck, and they sounded fucking beautiful.
That actually made me want to put my pants right there for a second when I was like, try these out. Like, even when I told you, Drew, I was like, I'll send you some, let me know what you think. Maybe we can learn something.
I bet you were cringe. I remember you were like, I'm a little bit cringe, man. Like, don't be like, I know you're pretty brutal. I'm like, I will be. If they suck, I'm going to tell you. He's like, well, I hope they don't, because they're going to fucking stack of them like fucking 40 feet high. And I was like, well, And I had these Italia Hi-Fi, and they're beautiful speakers. They looked awesome. They had these badass gold trim rings, and I was like, ooh. And these were given to me by a manufacturer from overseas that was like, we can make something like this for you. And I was considering making component speakers for Gately Audio. And I had these in my truck, and I had tuned my DSP to a beautiful flat signal, and they sounded fucking awesome. And I was like, let me put them in. And I was like, I'll put them in real quick before I leave the shop today. Door panels off, A-pillars out, put the Sky High 3-way system in. And I'm like, all right, this is like a $400 component set compared to like a $1,300 component set. I'm not asking a lot. So I turned the truck on. I turned on like my playlist. I backed out. I'm pulling out of my drive, and I wasn't a quarter mile away from my shop. And I was like,
hold up. You're like, hold up.
I haven't even tuned the DSP for these speakers yet. And I swear to God, this is already fucking better. I'm like, I'm going to tune the DSP tomorrow. It'll be even fucking better. By the time I got to the house, I come inside, I'm telling Allison, and I'm like, John's $400 speakers are shitting on this like $1,100 component set.
This is where my phone rings. Triple the price. I think exactly how it went.
Yeah. I told him, I was like, you're leaving too much money on the table. I'm like, I don't know what you're paying. And he was like, I didn't mark them up much. I probably should have done more. I know that based on all this stuff, it should have been listed at like 700 or 800. And I'm like, John, your 3-way component set. Nothing at double the price compares to this. And he's like, damn. And I'm like, yeah. And so I'm showing people these speakers in my truck, and I'm selling 2-ways and 3-ways to people that were just visiting the shop. I'm giving demos in my truck to show them the 4.8s, and they're like, what are these? What are these? They didn't ask that shit when I had the fucking Italias in there. They didn't care.
They were gold.
They're like, what in the fuck is this? And I'm like, that's Skyhighcaraudio. He's making these. That's rad. That guy's fucking cool. These are badass. And I'm like, they're fucking amazing. And yeah.
They're only $400.
And they're only $400. They're for the 3-way now, it's $529, $539.
$579. But the Neo price like tripled.
Yeah. Oh, I know.
That's why we ended up raising it.
Yeah. That's why we opted out of making Neo 8s, but we fucked up and we should have done it already.
Yeah.
So, whenever you told me about sending a 3-way set, and I told you I have a buddy of mine who has I have an 05 Duramax. He has like an 03. Same truck.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to use the same pillars I had. I'm changing my mid-bass adapters in my truck to a new style mid-bass adapter. So we're going to use what I have with those Sky High 3-ways, and we're going to treat his doors the same way mine are. I mean, we're basically going to give him the full top to bottom. This is how you make a 05 Chevy truck sound good, and we're gonna see how good we can get them.
And then
how big are
going forward in the sale panels, and we'll sell it all as a kit with your tuned DSP all together for like $4,000.
So actually, you mentioned that. So whenever I pulled my whole old system out, I basically put a whole new system in like a week span. I told my buddy Patrick, I was like, dude, we don't have to change anything in the tune that's in here currently. We can literally just drop in the DSP, amps, and speakers, and it'll sound just like it did.
Yeah.
Because your truck is the exact same. So that's actually not a horrible idea as long as whoever buys it can do a proper install. They could absolutely buy a sound quality
big challenge. Always.
What size are the speakers in the 3-way? Because I've got a 3-way set in mine.
3.5 and standard smalls, 1.5-inch tweet. But that being said, I have a lot of new stuff happening with the speakers. So we tooled all of our baskets from 8 all the way to 2 3/4. So now not now, when the tooling and everything's done and production runs are done, you'll be able to go on there and click like 3-way component set, and then you click 8-inch woofer, 6.5 or 6x9-inch woofer, and then
there we go,
3.5 or 2 3/4-inch mid-range, and then you do titanium dome or silk dome, and then you pick crossover, no crossover, and then we take all these pieces. You pick an 8, 2 3/4, and a silk dome. We put all this stuff into a box, no crossovers, and we have a gift box for your specific component set that we close and send you. That's complete but it's built to order essentially for.
Yeah, that way you're not ordering things you don't need, like crossovers. And,
Yeah.
Okay.
No,
Yeah,
that
cool.
works.
When that's
I
all
like
done,
that, especially
I'm
with
excited
like
for those 6x9s.
I know they're coming.
because at some point, my truck's going 8-inch mid base drivers. They're just not that common.
Yep.
So to be able to to put 8s in Patrick's truck, we could just go up on and be all right. We're you have this 3-way set now. We're going to get you the new set here. 8s, no crossovers. Boom, on the way.
Yep. Yep, and they'll look exactly like the 6.5-inch sets that you've seen, like in Eric's truck or the Tesla. Right? He was down there.
Yeah,
he has all
he's
of
got
them.
a shitload of them in the Tesla.
Yeah, I was super impressed by Eric's truck for how basic it was with the running half passive, active. No, so full 3-way active. I think we get it sounding good.
Full featured all the way, all the different sizes. You have a Chevy truck 6x9 2 3/4 factory location tweeter. Bam, you're on your way. So everything.
Yeah, I've actually heard like a quality. The brand I run now in my truck, Karma, they have a 6x9 mid base, and I heard theirs at a SQology event. Man, it's that extra cone area helps.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. It's like
for sure.
I mean, like the purists will say that it's not going to sound as good, but I'm pretty good.
Blah blah blah. They're fucking wrong. Fuck them.
Yep.
Those are the same ones who would tell me that my off-axis speakers don't work.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly.
Sorry, bud, it works.
Sorry, fucking square speakers don't sound right. They sound square.
Yeah, square speakers make square sound waves. That's why you got to invert them. Duh.
Yeah. So super cool piece of information regarding all of those Sky High speakers is that if you put LED lights behind them, the carbon fiber glows like a motherfucker. I don't know if John, do you have the image that I sent you just a while back? Super handy.
Probably.
Yeah, let me see if I can find it. I'll send it over to the Quietly Loud group.
So
And we can
while
share
you're looking for that, I want to talk about some piece of automotive news that came out today. Oh, look at that!
There you go,
Bobby.
Pay attention.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah.
Check that out.
He worked this in.
It's hot.
Yeah.
That's real hot.
Trying to find that picture, and I found another one that I shared to the group that you guys should all check out. It's fun.
What do you got?
Fuck. I can't find shit.
So I'll send in another call.
Bobby, you want me to share that one? At least you don't have any.
That is like, I think I sent that picture to John, and it was like the exact moment I thought of something really cool. I don't even remember what it was, but I was like, check this out. I thought of something really cool.
While I'm taking a shit.
While I was making out.
Yeah. I think I probably, I don't remember how the conversation went, but.
Hey, it'd be like that sometimes.
Yeah.
So, like I was saying, when we first started this, we said we don't want to always talk about just audio. So let's talk about some automotive news that happened today. The new Mustang.
I didn't see
what happened in the new Mustang today.
2024 Mustang got announced today.
Show me a picture.
Is it electric?
It is not. It is a they still the 5-liter. Let me share. And the
cool if it was a 5-liter
comes
with a hybrid.
That would be cool. So they shared an audio clip that sounded wild, sounded like people kept saying it sounded hybrid, but it sounded like straight cut gears because that's what the new GT500 has. No, it was a sequential. It's got a Tremec like 35, 33 or something in the new GT500. So it's wicked sounding.
Damn, that's the new pretty goddamn sexy, huh?
I know.
Fuck.
I'm actually kind of surprised it's not electric.
To be honest, I'm surprised it's not fucking ugly. That thing's badass.
I mean, I've always kind of liked the Mustangs personally.
I mean, there's been some fucking ugly ones though, man. Come on.
Yeah, so from this image, the blue one kind of looks like a short Charger.
That's what I was thinking.
It kind of looks like a short Charger, which is.
Well, only from that image though. From the front image though, it doesn't really have a cylinder.
Yeah.
That doesn't look like a Charger.
Yeah,
I mean,
some good color because they had that Nindo gray or whatever for so long on the Chargers.
Yeah, that Nardo or Battle Destroyer gray.
Let me here we go.
I want to pull that
Destroyer Gray is a really cool sounding fucking name, and it could be ordinary as fuck, and I'd want to have that name because Destroyer is a fucking cool name. I mean, unless you're talking about like some some Rockwood fucking subwoofers.
All right, I'm gonna
It's
exit
definitely a good looking
mine.
car. That's for sure.
Yeah.
I'm gonna share this other screen. If I share like a screen that has audio, you'll be able to hear it, huh?
Should be able to. Just tell me when you're going to share it, and then I'll.
All
I think
right.
I have to share it.
Yeah, you have to click share.
All right, I got it.
So tell me if you
Picture
can
the
hear this real
volume.
quick.
Is the volume up? Or
Can you hear that?
No.
no?
I'll just send it real quick, and then you can play it because all the video you play, we can hear normally.
Oh yeah, send it to the
Audio on
group
it.
chat.
Yep.
And I'll pull it up.
Yeah, so this is the sound of the new GT500. And when I first heard this sound, I about felt. I'm a Mustang. I've always loved Mustangs. I had a Cobra. I love it. Loved them. So when I first heard this sound, I about fell out my chair.
Thousands to maintain it every month.
Ooh,
What if I told you that
Well, that's cool.
here it comes. Sounds weird, doesn't it?
Okay, I gotta tell you, it's probably the audio track that plays through the speakers based on electronics that they have connected to the engine.
Might be, but
It's I mean, they've done
that,
it.
that,
You know
that
what I mean?
whining sounded like a sequential gearbox.
Well, I mean,
or like a
yes,
straight
but
cut
they
gear.
probably made it as an audio track.
Probably.
Like, here's the thing: if we can confirm from Ford that that's what the car sounds like, and that isn't an audible track that plays through the speakers, I'm gonna want one of those.
So there is a feature.
That's like some audio shit. And I've never been like, I really want a Mustang before. Like, that thing's sick as fuck. But yeah, like they
So
do that shit. The Raptors, the newer Raptors have audio that plays through the fucking speakers to make it sound the way it sounds. Otherwise,
So
Like outside the car or
awesome,
inside
like
the
a
car?
twin turbo V6, and you're like, shit.
I haven't had a chance to watch the keynote from today. I just found those pictures, but I did read that there's a feature where you can remote start the car, which that's not a feature, but you can remote rev the car.
Oh, that's cool.
So imagine being able to program a two-step into your remote start.
I just want to have that shit on the Raiden so I can remote start it and then tell it to sit and rev at 1900 or 2000 RPM so that it gets those.
You can. It's called a tune, bud.
I think we actually can do that pretty easy. One of the guys at the show, shit, I can't remember what that young man's name is, was sending us information on how to connect a simple wire and put a switch and told us what ohms of a resistor.
His truck's already tuned. Just have the tuner put a high idle tune on it.
Yeah, there it is. It's Brett Baldwin. Brett told us how to do it, and he sent me and Colt, and appropriately he sent Colt the information so he gets bonus points for knowing exactly who to communicate with. And we're gonna put a little switch on it, and we may tune it into the may connect it to the ARM system so that we can remote start it and then maybe press a little aux function and have it start revving. So
Matt said to check my DMs, but which DMs, bro? Like, I don't see you in any of them. That's unfortunate. But yeah, I mean, the truck's already tuned, so just have the tuner go in there and be like, all right, when it's in park and tow in tow tune, 1500 RPM, it just sits.
I don't want to fucking do that shit because I'm in tow tune. You should make sure you stay in tow tune when you're driving the Raiden because in race mode, it's a fucking lot.
Like whenever I put my Tahoe in park or neutral, it revs. It sits at 1100 or 1200 RPM.
Well, I want this thing to be at like 21 or 2200. Really, I think that's when the alt starts to make real power. It's got a couple of big brand X alts, and they do not that great at idle, but they fucking kick ass when you're revving it at like 2200 plus. So, yeah,
could be the pulley ratios too.
It also needs to
I'm
be
not changing that shit.
No, hell no.
That's that motherfucker putting those alts in was a lot of hours. The guys were climbing around in that gigantic motherfucker for like a day, and all the wires. Oh fuck, yeah. Anyway,
yeah. It's Oh, never mind. I see. He sent me a photo of a Camaro. Yeah, the alts need to be externally regulated, at least one of them, just for that oomph in the rating. It would help a lot.
Yeah.
And then the AGMs.
Get those things out of there. Get the. I was supposed to have a gigantic stack of retro 56s, but I'm over here with my dick in my hand. Where are they?
Why would it matter?
Where it was when I was there.
Why would it matter if it was externally regulated?
Externally regulated alternators make more power.
Okay, but I mean, at idle, is it going to make if the alt's not turning fast enough? Is it really going to matter though?
Yep, it'll make way more power. At idle,
really?
rev doesn't matter. More power.
Okay.
That's why, like, if you ever hear like me or Duncan are the only ones that I know because they're the ones I mess with it. But if you hear me or Duncan turn on our second and third alternators, and our batteries aren't charged super well, I mean, so my Tahoe will go from 1100 RPM, turn on the alternators. It'll yank it down to like 300 RPM. They'll defield because they're spinning so slow. It'll rev to 2000 because the truck's compensating for the RPM drop. They'll turn back on, and either the belt slips or the truck turns off. That's the only option at that point. It is a massive amount of. It's a lot more current, a lot more power, but it's a lot more heat. That's the issue. So at Slam last year, I melted the solder out of one of my alternators in the middle of the show. Like, alternator was 400 plus degrees and the solder was dripping out of it.
That's not good.
It'd be like that sometimes.
Yeah,
especially at Slam sometimes.
Why doesn't anyone come up with a damn throttle stop for linkage cars and a map for drive-by-wire? So my Tahoe's tuned to maintain 1100 RPM at idle. The issue is you turn on 45 horsepower worth of alternators, it's hard to correct for that quickly. So,
and the market's pretty small for somebody to actually make that, I guess.
Yeah, and like I said, and there's no real way. It's such a big, like, especially at idle, your motor doesn't make that much power at idle, so it's a big to hit it with 45 horsepower worth of strains. But like, no, I'm good.
Yeah,
well, that's one reason most alternator brands, promote internal because it's safer, it lasts longer, and it's not as aggressive on the motor. But power, baby.
I don't know where Bobby went off to, but we're almost 2 hours in, so I'm about ready to cut it, boys. I don't know if you are.
Yeah.
I think we
got
all the notes.
Yeah, I'm just gonna
37 seconds. You should be done by now.
Yeah, for real, it's been way up. Taking him
I know, right?
He must be pooing.
There he is.
Nope.
No,
I don't know
May
what the Facebook
5th,
user
no,
is,
May
but
7th, 2023. And it's
I'm going to change it so I can turn on one at a time.
Is that right, John? I don't know if we talked about that. It's only be one time a year now? Or are you still going to do
I think that we're just going to do it big one time a year.
Okay.
That'll probably be better.
Okay.
Unless
you guys heard that. So make sure you make it to the May barbecue because it's probably going to be the only one.
I think the May one will stay. Beginning of the season, there's not as much show overlap issues, which was fully my fault, like I said on the last one, but it was like the only weekend I had for 4 months or 3 months. So yeah, we'll do it big in May and all the cash prizes, big trophies, and I'm even talking about finding a location to put it at if the warehouse that we're building doesn't get done soon enough, because that'll be like really awesome. But if not, we'll go down the street. There's a big parking lot like at Summit, or there's a big truck stop over here that could maybe let us use the space if we outgrow what we have here. So
I kind of like the vibe of it just being like the whole street, just eating it all up.
Yeah, that's why I kind of don't want to go away from it, and we don't get shit from anyone because our permits are legit, so we haven't got shut down ever, and it's like demo central for fucking 10 hours.
Yeah, and it was just they didn't let up. Jason,
and your neighbors seem to be totally cool with it.
Unless you're running multiple external alts, you'll be fine, dude. You'll be a-okay.
That was longer than 37 seconds, Bobby.
Yeah, it took forever, dude.
Well, I was peeing. It takes me longer to pee than it does to fuck my wife. Sorry.
It'd be like that sometimes, dude. Old age.
Sometimes, I mean.
Bobby, Tony's sitting here in my office, and he heard you talking about the batteries. He went out there and confirmed we got 3 of them in today. Still 9 missing.
I need all of them.
Okay.
Every one of them.
I'll give you the 3 tomorrow.
Ship me those 3 tomorrow. I like pre-sold like 7 of them already. I'm all fuck.
Yeah, I express shipped those ones, and then they got lost in Memphis for a week.
Of course.
I mean,
And so 3 of them came. What? I don't understand how that works. You
no,
should have had them shits on a
Get them
pallet.
here fast enough. So we shipped them all express parcel, and 3 of them showed up so far.
Excellent.
Gotta love it. Look,
Yeah.
Jason, just message me. I'll help you out with the alternator stuff.
Cool.
It's
All right,
convenient.
boys. Well, John,
So-
thanks for joining us, dude.
Yeah,
Yeah,
dude.
thanks for having me. I appreciate you guys, and we'll see you soon.
Oh yeah, we will.
Sure.
We'll see you soon, bro, for sure.
All right, cool. Later, dude.
Later.
guys.
Later, John. Are
Bye.
we all